This video is for Homework 1.1 and Mastery 1.1, Understanding Whole Numbers. We're going to talk about the whole numbers and understanding place values in this system. The set of whole numbers are used to count a number of objects. Objects such as pencils, computers, people, things of that nature that are whole. We're not talking about fractions here or anything like that. Here's a picture of the whole numbers and place values. If you notice, starting on the right hand side, the first column is the ones place. Second column is the tens, the hundreds. Then we get into the pink area. The pink area is separated from the light blue area with a comma. This area is where we change from hundreds into thousands. We have thousands, then we have 10,000s, then we have 100,000s. Then we have another comma, and we change into the purple-blue area. This again starts out with millions, 10 millions, 100 millions. If you notice, each area has 3 columns separated by a comma. Each area has a ones, tens, and hundreds column. The first area here is your original ones, tens, and hundreds. This pink area again is the thousands. Then we have the millions. Then after the millions would be the billions area. In the number 684,136, we are asked to find the place for the digit 8, also the place for the digit 1. Notice the 8 is here, counting from right to left in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth column. Remember where we were discussing a moment ago, this would be the ones column, the tens column, the hundreds column. Then we have our comma. Then we would have the thousands column, the 10,000s, the 100,000s. So looking at this, the 8 would be in the 10,000s column, or 10,000s place. Part B asks us what would be the place value of the 1. We would do the same thing. This would be the ones place, the tens place, and the hundreds place. Therefore, the 1 is in the hundreds place. As you see here, I have highlighted the 8 in red along with the 1 in red for parts A and B, and given the answers. The 8 is in the 10,000s place, the 1 is in the 100,000s place. At times we want to write out numbers in expanded notation. This is used to express and emphasize place value for a number. If you look here, you first start out by looking at the number 53,489. Well, going from, again, right to left, we can do it this way. The 9 is in the ones column. The 8 would be in the tens. The 4 is in the hundreds. The 3 is in the thousands. And the 5 is in the 10,000s, which is what these bottom 2 areas represent. A 1 is just that, a 1. So 9 ones is just a 9. 8 tens is represented by an 80. 4 hundreds is the same thing as 400. 3 thousands is 3,000. 5 10,000s is 50,000. If you notice, this also is the same thing as saying the 5 with zeros for everything else. The 3 with zeros for everything behind it. The 4, zeros behind it. The 8 with a 0 behind it. And then the 9. This right here is expanded notation. I want to let you try this one. Write 874,592 in expanded notation. I will give you just a moment to attempt this before I move on. At any time during this video, please pause and attempt any of these examples on your own before proceeding to the next slide. This would be the proper way to have 874,592 written in expanded notation. We have 800,000 plus 70,000 plus 4,000 plus 500 plus 90 plus 2. We can also write numbers in words or vice versa, words in numbers. In this case, we have the word written out 15 right here and represented by the number 15. Also, the word 32 and the number 32. Notice there's a hyphen. Anytime that you have things that are 32, 55, things of that nature, you do want to put a hyphen in between them. Then we have 609. Notice that there's not an and in there. We just say 609. The and represents a decimal place. We do not have a decimal place in this number, so please do not put an and in your whole numbers. Try writing these numbers in their word format. I'll give you just a moment before I move on. A is 3,186. B is 400,298. So for part A, we have 3,186. B is written out 400,000, because there's nothing else in the thousands place, 298. Replace each question mark with the inequality symbol less than or greater than. Let me explain the symbols for a moment. This symbol here is your less than. It looks a little bit like an L. You can see a little bit of an L shaped here. This is your greater than symbol. You may have also heard the phrase, the large end point is open towards the largest number. Or, as some of us know, Pac-Man eats the largest end. So, for this example, a smaller number would be here, larger number would be here. On this one, a larger number would be on the left-hand side, and a smaller number would be on the right-hand side. For instance, 3 less than 9, or 7 greater than 5. Look at A, B, and C. You probably know, if you think about whole numbers in terms of money, which you would rather have in your pocket, $2 or $9. Which one is greater? Which one is less? See if you can put the symbols in the correct direction. Now check your answers. 2 is less than 9. Notice it is pointing to the left, less than. 9 is greater than 7. The greater than symbol points to the right. 8 is greater than 3. Hopefully you've had no problem with those. You will have some of these to practice in your homework as well as in your mastery. In math, we see a lot of times word problems. We need to be able to translate those. We want to rewrite each of these inequalities using numbers and the inequality symbol. One thing here is you have to be careful in how you read them. I'm going to let you read them, and then I will look at them on the next screen. Try to write them out with the numbers and the inequality symbol. This one is 10 is less than 15. So 10 less than 15. 7 is greater than 3. 7 greater than 3. We sometimes want to round off numbers in our answers, especially extremely large numbers, or we just want to get an approximation. These are the steps for rounding off your numbers. First, you identify the place value or the place digit that you want to round off. If the digit to the right of the round off place digit is less than 5, you do not change the round off place. If the place digit to the right of the round off place digit is 5 or more, you increase the round off place digit by 1. You replace all digits to the right of the round off place digit with zeros. So let's look at a couple of examples. Round 64,732 to the nearest thousand. Well, first of all, we have to be able to know our place values, and then we have to be able to know what we're doing when we say round. So let's think about this. Round to the nearest thousand. That would mean the 4 would be my nearest to my thousand. So we identify the round off place digit, the 4. Okay, that was step 1. Step 2 is identify the digit to the right of the round off place digit and see if it is 5 or more. That place to the right is 7. Is it? It is more than 5, correct? If it is more than 5, that means we need to add 1 to this 4, which will change our number to 65. After we add the 1, we change everything behind that thousand place to zeros. A lot of times I like to draw a line. If I know that I'm going to say to the nearest thousand, I'll draw a line right here, and I know that I'm going to be changing all of these to zeros. I still have to look at this number to see if I need to increase it by 1 or decrease it. The reason we increased it, think about 64,700. Is that closer to 64,000 or 65,000? It's actually closer to 65,000. So that is what we're looking at. Is it closer to one number or the other when we're talking about in terms of rounding? Let's look at another example. Here we have 8,138,701, and we want to round to the nearest 100,000. Okay, so first we need to look at the 100,000 position. That's this one. Okay, so we know that all of these numbers will eventually go to 0. But we need to look at this one right here first. Is it 5 or greater, or is it less than 5? The digit to the right is less than 5. If it's less than 5, we leave this number alone. Therefore, our new number becomes 8,100,000. Remember to replace everything to the right of your digit with zeros. Please do not forget that step. If you need to see more examples, please feel free to go into the View My Example or even view the multimedia videos that are available in your homework. Ask questions, anything that you need. Good luck on your homework.